So my content is designed to specifically make Black Americans wake up to the ideology that we have been stuck in a sort of a democratic plantation, a political plantation, if you will.
Right.
For so many years, the Democratic Party has a history of making promises but never performing.
Now's the time to finally speak up. And if you're scared to, remember, it's Republican, not Republicant.
Okay, so hi.
Hi.
I just met you today, and you're so wonderful and so kind and so nice. And I want to hear about more about what you are doing with your content and why.
So one of the things that I'm doing with my content is trying to tell people the truth, objectively, rationally,
Yes.
with a touch of humor to it.
Yeah.
I think that we live in an age where the best thing you can do is entertain and educate.
Yep.
Politics is such a boring, quote unquote, subject to so many that what we don't have are channels like yours where you take serious things and you make them kind of silly. The human brain responds very intuitively, very excellently to things that make us laugh or can jerk out emotion of any kind, whether
Right.
it's sadness or a serotonin flow.
Right.
And so my content is designed to specifically make Black Americans wake up to the ideology that we have been stuck in a sort of a democratic plantation, a political plantation, if you will.
Right.
For so many years, the Democratic Party has a history of making promises but never performing. And so my content specifically seeks to that. I went viral a couple of months ago during the election cycle when I called Kamala Harris a political pander bear for Black Americans. Which,
Love you.
You gotta tell the truth, people. You gotta tell the truth. And that went viral. I got about 1.6 million views that way.
That's awesome.
And my intention is actually to end up running for office in the very near future.
You have a fantastic voice for it too.
I appreciate
and a look. Love the suit and everything.
I appreciate that.
You'll do it. You'll do it.
God willing, God willing, in the creek.
If it's meant to be.
Yes, absolutely. And so, but that's honestly the intention of my content. It's just to entertain, educate, and more so awaken.
Yeah.
I don't wear this cross for no reason.
Yeah. Well, you're speaking my language because politics and humor is what I have found works the best in my experience with it. People were reacting better to my content when they had something that was relatable, and humor brings people together.
Absolutely, it always does. I think, when you look at Capitol Hill, you look at, like, I'll watch C-SPAN, I'll watch congressional debates, but I understand that to the average American that's boring. Our attention span right now is barely a minute, if that.
Right.
And so the hardest thing to do is to keep people focused on something that is long, laborious, difficult to interpret, difficult to understand. So your platform is actually...
This is exactly why I do this.
Right. Your platform is
love
necessary, it's vital, it's entertaining, it's educational, and by God, it's hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to see all the videos that you do too.
Oh, I appreciate that. I try to, and I'll mix in impressions here and then. You'll hear me talking about Trump's big, beautiful bill, and I'll say, well, a lot of it's big. Some of it's a bucket of both. Some of it's beautiful. You got to take the bits and pieces. But impressions are something that I've done since I was a child. And
that's amazing.
You can take something that's comedic and make it controversial and more so conversational.
Right.
Which I think is the intention behind my platform as well as yours.
Yeah. I want to take things that have nothing to do with politics and relate it to politics.
One of my favorite movies, American Gangster, has a scene in there where it's Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier getting ready to have their boxing match, and they're talking smack on the television, and the detective Richie Roberts says, "You're not going to the fight?" And he says, "No, I'm not interested in boxing." He says, "It's not boxing, kid, it's politics." When you think about it, the world is politics.
Yes.
The world is always, somebody somewhere is always trying to make the decision of who gets what and how much of that what are they getting.
Yes.
And so for you to have the ability to take these really difficult, sometimes mundane, laborious conversations and make them so relatable and relational to our everyday lives, even if you just give us a good laugh.
Right.
It's something that it breaks the monotony of the situation.
Right.
So please keep doing what you're doing.
That is my goal, because I understand that it takes me hours. It takes me like 6 hours sometimes to research some of these topics. And I know that the average American is not going to do that. So I'm going to do it regardless. If I have a page, if I have content or not, right? I'm going to do it regardless. So I might as well be taking what I learn and sharing it with people who maybe don't have the time or the attention span or willingness to read everything.
And that's a great thing to do, because right now in social media, you have to think about it. Our generation and the ones coming after us, I was born in 95.
Me too.
Right. So we are the generation that saw the
Yes.
creation of the internet,
Yes.
the rise of it,
Yes.
and the expansion thereof. We can now get information out faster than mainstream media,
Yes.
sometimes more accurate, oftentimes more accurate than mainstream
Yes.
media, by the way, which is
Exactly.
one of the biggest reasons why, platforms like yours need to be protected. One of the biggest things I want to work on when I do run for Congress, and hopefully, God willing, get in, is remove the Section 230 protections for these large platforms that can censor people, that can
Oh, it's
stop free
awful.
speech.
It's awful.
It's ridiculous because typically the voices that are censored happen to be conservatives. And
Yes.
there's no reason at all that the Constitution should stop at the internet.
And our monetization too.
Exactly, our monetization, because if you're good enough to get people to listen, you should be good enough to earn a living
Right.
by having people listen to your
Right,
content.
right.
And so that's one of the biggest bills that I would try to push would be a revision of Section 230 and a revision of Citizens United, which you have to get billionaires out of politics. Let the American people
Yes.
dominate the American political process.
Yes.
Not a group of oligarchs, not a group of
Nope.
billionaires. That shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why, again, freedom and whiskey, I don't know of anything that's more American. I don't know of anything that's more
Thank
American.
you.
than that. So
I try.
you do it well.
Thank
do it
you.
well.
Thank you. Yeah, I saw that there was something in my soul that told me that this is what I needed to do.
Yes,
and I
ma'am.
didn't know. I've always had a feeling like in my soul throughout life that I was supposed to do something different, like unique, but I wasn't sure what it was.
Well,
and
yeah.
I tried different avenues and they wouldn't work out, and I got to politics and making content like this, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Then you
none
notice
of that worked out because of this.
Right. You noticed a natural flow, right?
Yes.
It kind of flowed to you
Yes.
naturally. And I've always believed if God gives you a talent, you don't have to work for it. You don't have to, you may have to refine it.
Yes.
But working for a talent is vastly different than refining it. And obviously that's about all you're doing because the skill is there.
Thank
the
you.
quality is there.
You are so kind.
Oh, it's just, I'm just calling it like I see it. Just calling
Thank
it
you.
like I see it.
Yes, and it's like it is a lot of work, but it feels like a different type of work.
It's an enjoyable kind of work,
Yes.
would you say? Yeah.
Yes,
I
yes.
think that's it. I think God, when he said cursed is the ground for your sake in the book of Genesis, that meant something. Mm-hmm. He gave us work for a reason.
Yeah.
Because the idle mind is the devil's playground.
Yeah.
If you ever notice how when you're occupied, you tend to focus only on what it is that you're doing.
Yes.
You tend to focus on my
not
money has to go
stressed.
here. You're not
Yeah.
stressed out. If you're
Yeah.
stressed, it's
Well,
about something
yes,
work related,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
I think that's the largest point of it is when you have a talent, when you have a gift that's God given, it is work, but it doesn't feel like labor. It doesn't
Yes.
feel laborious.
Good.
It doesn't feel monotonous. Doesn't feel slow.
Very good.
And what you've crafted here is something that's going to reach generations after generations.
Thank you.
So I would definitely tell you keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, and you too. And we'll have to find a way to collab at some point.
We absolutely will, without
especially
question.
with you doing your voices and your impressions.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'll have many crossroads where we'll intersect. I'm sure.
That's fantastic.
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
absolutely a pleasure to get to talk to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Pleasure.
and learn about how you got started too.
Well, I just, like I said, you get started when God puts something in your chest and
Yeah.
puts something in your heart. Much to your point, it's almost like Jeremiah. There's a fire shut up in my bones. When Jeremiah wanted to run away from preaching the gospel, he couldn't. My cross to carry is telling the truth to people that might not listen.
Yeah.
I think especially being a black conservative,
We need you.
Right.
We need you very much.
And you have to acknowledge that we live in a society where there is a narrative sold to people that look like me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a lonely road sometimes to travel. But when you have a good fiance / future wife like I
Yes.
have, you've got a
Yes, he
supportive family
does.
like I have. You're not afraid to do whatever needs to be done to let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream to the
Yeah.
best of your ability.
And you want to create the best environment for your future children and for your future wife.
Absolutely, and especially when you already have a 4-year-old son. I
Yeah.
have one, and so it's one of those situations where even when it's difficult, even when it's hard, you don't stop moving.
Yeah.
One of my favorite quotations from Dr. King was that if you can't fly, you run. If you can't run, you walk. And if you can't walk, you crawl. But by all means, you have to keep moving. And that's what I strive to do every day.
Love it. And I will use that now personally.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's so true. You have to keep moving.
Absolutely. Because when you stop moving, that's when the devil wins.
Yep.
When the Bible says resist the devil and he'll flee from you, you can't resist him idly. You have to occupy yourself with something worth being occupied by.
Yeah.
And once you do that, work becomes easy.
Yes. I
Without
love
question.
that.
Yes, ma'am.
Work becomes easy.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to speak with you.
It's a listen.
Absolute pleasure. Finally, this sweet man was so patient with me. But you are absolutely a pleasure to listen to, and I can't wait to see you in Congress.
I appreciate that. I'm going to need all the support I can get.
Yeah.
So, and where can we?
Well, I was going to say tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, Austin Off Script on all platforms except TikTok. It's real Austin Off Script because I already have about 13 fake pages that have been made. So, Austin Off Script on YouTube, real Austin Off Script on TikTok, Austin Off Script on Instagram. My nickname is Dr. Julio, the best fake doctor in the algorithm. The PhD might be fake, but the facts are real deal.
I love that so much. That's fantastic. Well, thank you, Doctor.
It's a pleasure. It is
Pleasure.
an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure.
Yes, ma'am.
I spent a lot of time being quiet about who I am until I realized there was no time left. I'm standing up and stepping up for we the people. Because a government that will give you everything you want is a government that will take everything you have.